Okay, this is what I mean by my angel eye. This is the one that helped me find a huge network in France that's connected to here in the UK and also the United States and South America, NATO, okay, as well, and Customs Union and HMP. Prison services, they're still there. Um, but the thing is, that's got like but it's not the best one, but it did the job, believe it or not. There is better, but here's the point as well. There was a guy, I don't know if he's, I've got him on this, I caught him on this more than once, and he's actually been working in the United States, and I can say that he is actually a pedophile, also one of my abusers. And that's the one with Geordie Doo. You know, the World's End pub victims. The father of one of them is definitely part of that network. But so is the other, I believe the other one with the tie. He's got the academy tie. So the French network, actually, it's been covered up. Not by me. Not by me. The French network also extends to Basel. I think it's Basel because I went to Strasbourg and it's in the European Court for Human Rights and Parliament. So I'm putting these on because I've eaten fish. Be careful when you buy these. The skipjack. A minute. I can't get this thing. Skipjack tuna chunks in sunflower oil by Amazon. Because that made me very ill. So I love fish. You know what I mean? I gotta get a fish supper. I absolutely love fish. I'm from a fishing family as well as army, naval, a coastal community, Hull or Yorkshire and Banff and Buchan. But I have to take these sometimes. These are allergy stuff. It's like hay fever. And then these pedophiles, they'll give you cancer and cysts and other stuff. That's by assault. That's nothing to do with fish. But yeah, the French are covering up their pedophile network. The nearest, and it's not just, it's medical abuse and research. It's just about everything and anything. Okay, now, I keep seeing Epstein as a person that did bounce checks in South America. He was involved in one of the murder attempts against me, which ended up in, I believe, one of theirs being fed to the fish. I didn't hack the guy up. It was basically self-defense. I knew they were gonna murder me. But anyway, my father would have told them that because I told my father that lie, and he knew I have a very, very profound, I don't know if it's fear, but revulsion of blood. Two types of people have that condition. People like me in 2 points that have been forced to perform oral sex on dirty, bloody women. And also that have been severely wounded. That's a burn. Don't worry about that. And that, I don't know what that is. That's a really old wound, that, and you can still see them. You see, that's what I'm telling you about the light. But strangely, you can't see the one here. This one has been with me since I was a child. And I first noticed it at Cobble Hall. And it's a big slash wound down my arm, my forearm. So again, very profound. So my father wanted me to be an apprentice butcher. And this is no fucking way. That's when I was a kid. I said I'd be thrown up over everything. He says, all right, I'll let him know. I'll have to get my money back. So he paid him for the apprenticeship. And that's what I mean, that money that you see in those, that I'm financially responsible for the children. Councils admitted to wrongdoing but covered it up. This is why you need the council and also religious orders and the House of Lords, these people, the royal family. Those letters from Yorkshire, Hull, the Hull authorities and that, they've all admitted to wrongdoing, but the thing is, they were handing money over to people that spent it other ways. In other words, they never spent a penny on me, very little. So that's also a case I have against them, all of them. The care service providers, even not only as a child but to the very present, because I'm still being abused financially by Edinburgh City Council and others, including LCIL, Future Pathways, the works. See, they're always coming up with cash. See, when they do transactions on my behalf, they use a credit card, but then sometimes they've been using a credit card, so I can recall and recover all that according to some kind of criminal act. I can have all that recovered. But with the corruption, I feel that this country's just not going to let that happen. And I have heard these people say already that they owe me an absolute fortune. And you're talking about them saying that even when I was a child. So I was also wanting my mother's death investigated because I felt there was something very suspicious there too. With the amount of violence I witnessed as a child, as a victim, and occasionally meted out to others, but not much on that level. But that's the police. That guy, Private Eye, the Beast. He did a claim to do a story about those little bars the police were hitting people with. The pressure point bars. But Private Eye's involved in the abuses as well. I've got what you call it, video of his journalist that worked for Private Eye confessing to being complicit in the offences against me since a child. They're in a bus. I'm on a bus here in Edinburgh with the Angel Eye. But what we should concentrate on also is the French connection, as I say, to these pedophile networks. Customs Union, Jeffrey Dahmer, and that pink guy. The Wolfgang Schmidt. We need to find out if these are real cases for me anyway, but I'm sure there's people out there who, oh yeah, they're real cases, but I get hacked, or some will say, well, that's real, but that one isn't, you see. So we're talking about magistrates, police officers, sheriff's officers, bailiffs, council workers, council trades, private trades, employment agencies. There's a guy that was in France, said that we want to know if you're Wagner. Now, my understanding since then is that Wagner was a tool company. But even Wagner, the guy that owned Wagner that they claim was assassinated in a plane crash, I recognised him. But because you get labelled all sorts of things, I kept my mouth shut. Because I didn't think it was true. I thought it was more nonsense. But here's something that's a bit closer to the mark. but could also they incorporate what they do is they merge, they take my image, and let's say there's that guy that's recently been found. I forget his name. Oh, he was convicted in 2021. Now his name is familiar. I forget the name of the guy, but I did a tweet or Carson or something. Um, I seen this guy Carson's not denying what he did, not one bit. But there's this guy called Tommy, I think, or gee, I can't remember his name, but he was in NSF, and he likes to wear those rings, and he's an artist. He was trying to call me his abuser. Now, they made that mistake in the Murray Royal as well. They always make that mistake with me. They think that, see, the NSF is actually mainly for carers and their kids. But I know for fact now that it's more for the carers and kids that have committed offences, serious offences, including rape and murder of even children. And the sponsor is Princess Anne. And she's familiar as one of the offenders from when I was a kid. But also Donald Trump's mother. And another one. You see, there's sex offenders called Helen and Ellen. And like I said, I saw someone look resembling Trump's mother. So you look at the side of Trump's mother's face. I'll use this side. You see it. It's like somebody has fingers like and gone like that in their face, and you've got little creases in their face. Well, I think that's when they go and get a facelift, and then it starts to crease. I don't know what causes it, but it's like little ridges. And I recognised a person very like her visiting a children's home, and even at that children's home, because they knew they would get away with it, she certainly did. They openly admitted to sexually abusing me, some of them. And even Bernadette Mooney in 67 York Place, she admitted to drugging me and sexually abusing me when I was a child. And she ran Barony Contact Point. She admitted to being one of my rapists from earlier. I think it might have been St Martha's or Nazareth House, or there was 139 the Hardgate, Craigielee. I was definitely there twice. I keep forgetting the names. There was something like Hessel Homes. Now, my father knew I was in one of them, but I've not actually found out. There's Pickering and Hessel Homes. There's also the sea people, the fishermen's places. There's Bernardo's as well. Now, I know my sister Ruby was there in Yorkshire. They keep trying to blame my sister Jeannie, but actually she was in Borstal. So I can safely say that, you're accusing people that weren't even there. That's what they're doing. They're trying to, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. So let's say there's that guy Carson. What they would do, they would have my image and his image, and they'd merge the two. You know? So that's what they're doing with my sister. And that's what's happening with this Guthrie, I think. The Guthrie, sorry. Guthrie, but I definitely recognise Guthrie. But in recent times, mainly. But I recognise also members of her family as per broadcast on the internet. That's why I'm saying to people, get yourself a TV that operates off the aerial. So when you think you're being overloaded with a lot of junk, plug your TV into the aerial socket, because they still broadcast that kind of that kind of signal as well, because they are basically hacking everything. So this Guthrie that's gone missing in the United States. I've just spotted another one. I think that one's gone now. That's definitely a familiar. Top Chef on Brexit has done for UK fishing, and the question you should always ask him by. I don't know what his name is. Sky News. Judges as well. Court system on brink of collapse. There's a lot of judges involved anyway, and magistrates. So, French police raid ex-officers over Grok AI investigation. Well, there you go. So Prince Edward, and I think it's Andrew. So you know the older ones, I recognise them too. My brother Keith grassed them up about two little boys with two little toys. He says, Keith, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't remember us having that two little toys business. I think it was more to do with something, it's more to do with sexualization of children than anything else. It's like two little girls with two little sandwiches. But anyway, like, there's a butcher's thing. Butcher killed a girlfriend with horse figurine. So that's the 16 Edinburgh criminals. But what's his name? It's a guy. He's a garage worker. Now I was reading his story, and I spotted even some of the voices on on the story when they were giving evidence, and it's all women. Have you noticed he's mobbed by women? I recognise some of the voices of those that accused him. Now, this is what happens. See, I've heard this before. And that guy, Tom or Jimmy, wears all those pewter rings. He tried the same business. He did the same business with me in the Murray Royal. They were accusing me. He said, I think I know this one. I think he did something to me when I was a child. Because he was in Oak Bank, so was I, or that other home. I was never a carer in the home. I was always a child. And I did say to Daisy Pat that you'll never ever get me caring for kids. And he said, in fact, I probably wouldn't even want to care for adults in that capacity. Because I'd seen it. I'd seen it all. I'd seen them abusing me, basically in a drug state, struggling to wake up and being sodomized in Cobble Hall mainly, being raped in a conscious state anally in Oak Bank by two residents. And a guy that came in as a cleaner, a janitor, they found out he was planning to murder me. They threw him out. I think they even got him arrested. He was one of the new janitors. They brought him in to manage the heating. And they said, you're looking at this boy a bit too often and in a way that we're not comfortable with. And I think they were talking about doing a background on him, and that the things didn't fit with what he was telling them. So I've got an attention span problem. And my brother Ian's responsible, but not only him, others like Kathleen Kelly, his wife, and others. They don't want me remembering anything or being able to recount things very well. Yeah, that's the Woolman Hill. I think it's the Woolman or Ladybank Paedophile Network. See, the doctors pretend to have an illness. They've got plenty of examples. They want to impersonate someone that's ill. That's what I'm saying about Donald Trump. Don't believe a word they say. He knows what he's doing. He's play acting.